For today's topic, I thought I'd talk about how I feel like I've gained confidence without a man. As I've said before in other videos, I'm probably not single through choice. If I'm being really honest, I would like to find someone. But sometimes I think, whoever's out there, whatever you believe in, God, the universe, sometimes things happen for a reason. And part of me genuinely feels that for some reason I am supposed to be single at this point in time. And I thought I'd just do like a little video for anyone that's in my situation and they want to gain confidence being single and they don't want to rely on the validation of a man to make them feel better. I think sometimes women, when they're in a relationship, they kind of get caught in a bubble of their boyfriend maybe sending them the good morning text and someone being there for them basically. And they kind of get used to this bubble of being with someone. And sometimes women can make their whole life revolve around a man. This is definitely a female-centric thing. I think definitely women in general tend to, as I've said before, put the importance of having a relationship above friends, above hobbies, above goals. And sometimes they tend to see it through a lens of the relationship I'm in is everything. It means absolute everything to me. And they get caught up with having a man give them compliments, etc. So I thought I'd maybe just talk about how I've tried to gain confidence while being single. The first thing for me, which is really easy to say, but you need to go out there with a mindset of not wanting a relationship. Because I know some people aren't going to like this when I say this, but if you tell a man that you want a relationship, he will run a mile. Because he will see you as codependent, he'll see you as not being okay on your own. And anytime I've admitted to someone that I've been dating, that I've wanted a relationship, it's automatically just repelled them. No matter who I've been dating, as soon as you say to a man, I would like a relationship, it turns them off. Because there's no chase for them, basically. That's probably just making it really simplistic. They're always going to wonder in the back of my mind, does she actually like me or does she just want a relationship? So for me, the first tool was to not want a relationship and to really get comfortable with being lonely, being on my own. Like I said in other videos, accepting I'm single and not trying to fill that void with a man. And I know that is so easy to say. It's so easy for me to sit here and be like, just don't want a relationship, when that's the thing that you really want deep down. But when you physically don't want a relationship, it automatically puts across a different energy to men. And men can pick up on that. If a man is dating someone that's got a lot of going on in their life, they're busy, and they're not sitting at home waiting for a man to fix things, that is automatically more attractive to a man. I think the next thing is to take validation from sources outside of being in a relationship. So whereas for men, it's status that is important to men, for women, it's the relationships they build. So just because you're not with a man, you can build a sense of self-esteem and confidence through the female friendships that you have. I've definitely been trying to work on these things. I can definitely be guilty of not working on female friendships. Ever since the restrictions have lifted, I've definitely made more of an effort to make time for my friends, to see my friends, to nurture those relationships and see that female friendships are really important. Sometimes they're more important than a man because you'll have known a friend for years and they'll have got to know you and they'll have seen what you've been through in life. It's happened to me a couple of times where I've been really close friends with someone and then when they've got into a relationship with someone, they've absolutely ditched me and they've stopped the friendship. And that's because they've put their whole validation into being in a relationship. and they literally just cut me off. And it's very common with women. I don't think the same thing tends to happen. I could be wrong, but I don't feel that the same thing happens for men. I don't think men ditch their friends in the same way that females ditch their friends. It is, dare I say it, it's especially common when women get married, because obviously once a woman gets married, it's completely different. It all becomes about their husband. And I can understand that to a certain, degree. But I'm definitely trying to see the value of female friendships, really. And I'll lean on my friends for advice. Even in terms of relationships, I will give people advice sometimes. Try not to. But when you're in that situation, you can't always be objective. And it's always good to get advice from your friends and to get a different point of view from your friends. I'm not going to go and talk about what people say on the internet. You know what I'm talking about. But you literally cannot put all your eggs into one basket into the relationship of a man. If I sit back and look at my life objectively now, I feel that I wasted my 20s trying to make relationships work at the expense of my career. I put a lot on hold because I wanted the fairy tale, the romance, and I would put so much energy into dating, trying to find the one at the expense of my career. And I can look back at parts of my career, and when I mean career, I mean outside of YouTube. I work in kind of like risk management. I look at parts in my career where I could have knuckled down and I could have got higher up in the corporate ladder. I could have progressed. I could have done more exams. I could have studied. And I put that on the back burner because all I wanted was just to fall in love, have the boyfriend, have the marriage, have the children. And I've put a lot of my personal goals on hold at the expense of relationships. I wish I'd put less emphasis on relationships and making relationships the pedestal of my life. And pleasing men, trying to find a man, and even stupid things like keeping the weekend free just in case that boy texts me, and then ultimately he doesn't, and you'll spend the weekend alone. So if you're like a young girl watching this and you're watching all those videos out there that say get your husband at 21 straight out of university, don't. I'm telling you to go out there, have a career you want, have hobbies that you want, because relationships aren't guaranteed. You can think you've met the love of your life, but it doesn't work out. And you don't want to be in that situation when you're older where you've got absolutely nothing to fall back on. Even if YouTube doesn't work out for me, I still have 10 years industry knowledge in a certain field. I can support myself financially. I'm not stuck in a loveless relationship with someone that I'm with through necessity rather than love. I guess what I'm trying to say with this video in a roundabout way is that confidence has to come from within. I spoke in one of my other videos about not really feeling sexy because the times I'd felt sexy were dependent on another man finding me sexy. And it's the same kind of concept with confidence. The confidence has to come from within internally. It has to come from how you see yourself as a person. If you think of all the pillars in life of what you have, money, health, career, relationships, friendships, what women definitely do is if there's like a graph, it's like money, career, relationships up here, and then friends, etc. The only way to have confidence is to not have relationships as the main pillar. If you have relationships as the main pillar as a female, you're setting yourself up for a fall. Because when that man doesn't want to be with you anymore, if he finds someone else, then you're going to be in a situation where you will crumble because you've based all your validation on relationships and an external metric of happiness. The only way for you to be happy and fulfilled in yourself is to have that sense of confidence from within and not through a relationship with a man. You have to get to the point where you're comfortable on your own, you've got a great life, you're doing what you want to do, you're seeing friends, you're traveling, you're having the fucking strimmer. I better round it up with the strimmer. Where you're having a great life, you're traveling, you're experiencing new things, and you're not relying on your relationship as being the thing that holds you up, basically. It needs to add to your life and not be your whole life.